all were expecting a live show, weren't you? Well, I'm here to tell you that this is absolutely, positively, most definitely live. No, it's not. Basically, I'm here to tell you kind of what's going on. It's true. See, you know, if I don't have birds, I've got to have some sort of animal making ruckus in the background. It totally happens all the time. There's not going to be a live show tonight because I have to work late, actually. I just kind of wanted to make a video, and Liz agreed that we should make a video about kind of what's going on and what's happening. So there's no live show this week, and there's not going to be a live show next week because there's this little thing going on in the YouTubes in California known as VidCon. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. That's where Liz and I will both be, so you might see something. You might get a little surprise, but we're not going to be able to actually have a live show format. Liz is busy with her booktube things, and I'll be wrestling people and trying to get them to their rooms, so it'll just be pretty busy. So that's what's happening this week and next week. I don't know what's going to happen the week after that. I don't know. It's kind of a week basis. But we're going to still continue going through John Piper's book as much as we can. You can still read ahead if you want. That's great. Feel free to do that on your own, and you can leave comments and things on the Facebook wall and do that. So don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you. It's just summer. Summer's busy, yo. But I did have a little Year with C.S. Lewis book with me, so I thought I'd read a little bit of that for you to kind of, you know, give you something. Can't leave you hanging. What? C.S. Lewis is talking about love your neighbor as yourself. He says, well, exactly how do I love myself? Now that I come to think of it, I have not exactly got a feeling or fondness of affection for myself, and I do not even always enjoy my own society. So apparently love your neighbor does not mean feel fond of him or find him attractive. I ought to have seen that before because, of course, you cannot feel fond of a person by trying. Do I think well of myself? Think myself a nice chap? Well, I'm afraid sometimes I do, and those are no doubt my worst moments. But that is not why I love myself. In fact, it is the other way around. My self-love makes me think myself nice, but thinking myself nice is not why I love myself. So loving my enemies does not apparently mean thinking them nice either. This is an enormous relief, for a good many people imagine that forgiving your enemies means making out that they are really not so much bad fellows at all, when it is quite plain that they are. Go a step further. In my most clear-sighted moments, not only do I think myself not a nice man, but I know that I'm a very nasty one. I can look at some things I have done with horror and loathing, so apparently I am allowed to loathe and hate some things that my enemies do. Now come to think of it, I remember Christian teachers telling me long ago that I must hate a bad man's actions, but not hate the bad man. Or as they would say, hate the sin, but not the sinner. This is something we all hear. That's Beverly's commentary, but yes, it's something we all hear. For a long time I used to think this is a silly straw-splitting distinction. How could you hate what a man did and not hate the man? But years later it occurred to me there's been one man that I have been doing this all my life, namely myself. However much I might dislike my own cowardice or conceit or greed, I went on loving myself. There had never been any slightest difficulty about it. In fact, the very reason why I hated the things was that I loved the man. Just because I loved myself, I was sorry to find that I was the sort of man who did those things. Consequently, Christianity does not want us to reduce by one atom the hatred we feel for cruelty and treachery. We ought to hate them. Not one word of what we have said about them needs to be unsaid. But it does want us to hate them in the same way in which we hate things in ourselves, being sorry for the man should have done such things, and hoping, if in any way possible, that somehow, sometime, somewhere he can be cured and made human again. So there's your thought for the day. I hope you all have great weeks, and we will see you guys soon, hopefully. So, holla! It's Jesus time. Bye!